Greetings and welcome to the Stunthangar video Hangouts. My name is Charles Carter and I'll be your host this evening. I want to extend to you my gratitude for you watching Stunthangar video Hangouts. If you're watching this as a replay, I want you to know that I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So please make a note of this so you can watch or be part of the live stream. Plus, we have an after party following the live stream, which is sometimes better than the live stream portion. You must be a registered Stunthangar forum member to find the link to be part of the live stream and the following after party. Here at Stunthangar Video Hangouts, we talk about building and flying model airplanes, sport flying, competition flying, and what you've been doing lately. To join our conversation, if you are already a member of the Stunthangar Forum, you can find the link if you scroll down to the section called At the Bench. Now, if you're not a member, or if you're not logged into Stunthangar Forum, the At the Bench link will not appear. Now, if you're not a member, please register at stunthangar.com/SMF. That's stunthangar.com/SMF. That's Smart Men Flying. That's courtesy of Jeff Riley. You must place a space between your real first and last name when you register. You must also use a valid email address or Sparky. The proprietor of Stunthangar will not approve you. Now, if you're inclined to not come in and just enjoy watching us on YouTube, wonderful, fantastic. Please enter your questions or comments in the chat box over here to the left, and I'll do my best to make your comments or the questions a part of the show. And I understand sometimes I can't get a word in myself, so be patient, and I will ask our illustrious panel your question or state your comment. And by the way, you only can make your comments or questions known during a live stream. So like I said earlier, I host these YouTube live streams every Monday and Friday evening starting at 6:45 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Now, if you find the Stunthangar Video Hangouts that I host or the many building videos, Saturday at John videos, the contest coverage that Sparky does on this platform, informative and enjoyable, please hit the thumbs up, and subscribe. And when you subscribe, make sure you hit the notification bell so you'll be alerted when we are going live or when we're uploading a video. Now, you also please consider joining Stunthangar's YouTube channel memberships, which hit that blue button right below. And the memberships start at just $4.99 a month, which is less than 17 cents a day. And by the way, I'm a member. I have the $4.99 come out of my checking account each and every month, and I don't miss it. And I suspect you won't miss it either. Plus, you'll be supporting your hobby. You'll be supporting what Sparky and I are doing, and we greatly appreciate that. Now, if you can't do the subscription, then just do the super chat, which is located below the chat box. It's a $, and you can donate any amount you like. But the only thing is you have to do that during a live stream. So again, without repeating myself every Monday and Friday evening, right? Just come on in, do the super chat. And if it's not convenient for you to watch the whole show, then come back like a lot of people and watch it, incrementally in pieces, because this show is about almost 2.25 hour long show. So, please consider doing that. We actually appreciate your support. And we are getting some support. It's just not a whole lot. So I would really appreciate if you would up that up, and so we can make next year even better than last year. Okay. Now, your support offsets just some of the expenses of running Stunthangar. And with your memberships, you'll get special badges that Sparky and I can see in the chat box, and you'll have unlimited replay of member-only videos. And once a month, Sparky has a question and answer show for members only. Now, this is Sparky's YouTube channel. This is not mine. I come in and do the show twice a week for everybody in the community. But if you want to get in touch with me, go to my YouTube channel, which is called Flying Control Line Stunt. That's Flying Control Line Stunt, and place a comment or question on the 2019 AMA National Championship video, which Sparky shot with his video camera of me flying his Junar XL. And I'll receive a notification and be able to respond to you quickly. I want to thank you for your past, your present, and future support. You are making it happen. Please keep the conversations family room friendly. In other words, please don't use words or do things you wouldn't say or do around your own children or grandchildren. Without any further ado, I'm going to post a link now at the Stunthangar forum. Let me go there now and post that right now. All right, so I'm posting the link. It's posted. Now that's, if you're curious, if you're watching this show, wondering how you can get in here, the way to get in here is through the Stunthangar forum. And that just kind of helps us get some control on who comes in. And it helps keep it safe for me. And so that's how to get in. And it's not difficult to register if you're not registered. Sparky is just busy, but he will get around to approving your request for membership of the Stunthangar forum. And it doesn't cost anything to join the Stunthangar forum. It's free. So let me go to what I call the control panel. I'm making my way there now, and let's see what happens here. So just bear with me for a second. I went flying today, by the way, with my friends Joe Mata and Carl Reed, and we had a really good time. Carl Reed and Joe Mata had overcome some challenges, as far as their planes and stuff, but they all got able to get their plane in the air and have a good flight or two. Looks like we have 10 concurrent viewers and 6 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, please smash that like button. That helps the analytics of the show. And I see here in the chat box, Jeff Riley says like stamped. Thank you very much. And Tom Ramel says like provided. And Jeff Riley is saying hi to Tom, and Tom is returning saying hi to Jeff. And it looks like Gary Sinclair is making his way in here. And let me see here. Let me fix something that I want to fix here. Let me fix this real quick. And hey, Gary, how you doing?
Good. Have you been checking your emails?
Say it again.
Have you been checking your emails?
I'm so sorry, Gary. I've been so busy with unfortunately right now we're down to one car. So I am busier than a one-legged contestant in a butt whipping contest.
I loaded you up with a bunch of email stuff.
Yeah, I did see one earlier this week. I think it was number 25. That was beautiful, by the way. Beautiful.
So how's the calendar? Is it okay for me to go ahead and get it printed?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's
okay.
I think last time we saw it and those corrections, yeah. I think it's gonna be a winner. Did you get any response from people in the chat box? I know that people asked for
I got one. Yeah, I got it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, we gotta get more than one. So anyways, I went flying today with that Brodak P40. I don't know if you're familiar with their Brodak P40 ARF. Are you familiar with that plane?
I'm not sure. I could probably.
It is it's a profile, and it's a warbird. It's the the P40 Warhawk, and I actually really like flying that plane because it looks like a real airplane. I mean, when you're in the center of the circle and you're flying it, I mean, all these other stunt ships, even the ones that are beautiful, and I go, oh, I got to have that, or I got to build that. The one thing about them is that they're kind of fantasy looking airplanes to me. They're beautiful. My SV11, I like the SV11, but you're never going to see a real airplane looking like the SV11. The styling, the how it looks, the everything, the aesthetics. You're not going to see it. I don't think you're going to see a real plane like that. So I consider most stunt ships kind of a fantasy, but this plane looks like a real airplane. The P40 So from the handle of flying, I really enjoy seeing it because it looks like a real airplane. And this is actually I went out there today. Hey, Naomi's in the house.
Yeah.
Fantastic, Naomi. That's great.
Even though it says Len, but
That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So tell me, Naomi, what's going on with you?
I'm actually waiting to see if Len's gonna come on because he went down to try to help a friend of ours, Tom, to get on to the live hangout.
Oh,
And
nice.
so he hopefully is able to help him get on here. So I just thought I'd check in and see if I could see them.
Oh, that's great.
Because I have my phone here just in case they need technical support. I'm expecting a phone call at any minute.
That's right. Well, I'm so glad you're in here, Naomi, because I don't think this has to be a man's space. And so I really appreciate you coming in for that, because there are some women that are they go to all the contests with their husband. Some fly, some don't. And so I'm so happy for you to come in. I really appreciate it. And I want to get more women to come in, because it's something you enjoy doing just as much as any guy. I mean, you enjoy just as much as any guy does, and you build, and it's kind of a sneaky suspicion you build a lot of planes. Hey, Mike, look who's in here. We got Naomi in here.
Hey, Mike.
He's muted for probably for a very good reason.
Oh, we're watching a Christmas movie. I had the volume turned way up.
No problem. No problem. Yeah, so I'm just
strangely enough, I don't see Len or Tom.
Well, they'll show up eventually. I'm sure they will figure it out. But I have Jack Snavely in the chat box. He says, like added. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate that.
Where is Len at?
Oh, he went down the road to a friend of ours, Tom, because Tom wanted to get on the live hangout. So we were down at his place just like a couple nights ago, and I was helping him get set up on Stunthangar and get the At the Bench to show up on his homepage. And
oh, okay, all right. So Len's going to be dialing in remotely from another location.
Yeah, well, it's kind of ironic because Tom admits he knows nothing about computers. So of course, who goes to help him? Len, who also knows nothing about computers.
I'm going to predict your phone's going to ring in about 15 minutes, and Len's going to say, Naomi, get down here and help us. We don't know what we're doing.
I'm predicting you're probably right. I got my phone here just in case, I'm expecting a call at any particular moment where, help, we can't get this to work.
I appreciate that. Well, I've helped a lot of men get in the show, and their wives set it up for them. And then after their wives set it up, then they learn how to do it on their own. But initially, a lot of men come in. Women have been having, Zoom meetings through the pandemic, and, grandkids and kids and children and what have you. So they've been doing it a lot more than us guys for the most part. So a lot of women have been helping. I can't say the number of guys that come in here and their wives initially set it up. And then once they figured out, then they can do it on their own.
Yeah.
So Naomi, have you been doing any flying or building lately?
Not really recently. I mean, I guess probably the Ringmaster Flyathon was the last time I was really out flying. So this is more like getting into like the colder weather here, and not so much fun always, but I still might go out flying. It just depends on the weather and what else is going on.
Very good.
I don't. some of you are my friends on Facebook, so you might have seen that I updated my Facebook picture to show me holding my Shark 402.
All right, very
So I
cool.
got a lot of likes about that particular model.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's a very good flying model. I have to say, I really like it. For me, it's a good size. It certainly flies really, really well, better than I can so far. But I'm
Wow.
working on it.
So what are you working on as far as the pattern? What are your challenges right now?
I'd say like when I left off. Oh, there's Brad. When I left off in the flying, like actually trying to do the stunt pattern, I'm still working on my inside loops, but I'm trying to get to the consecutive loops now, where I can do one inside loop fairly well now, I would say, although when I start the new flying season, I'll probably have to relearn it all over again. But the consecutive loops is still like tricky, trying to make sure that you get that they don't keep getting tighter and tighter or moving around all over the place. I guess my thing is I'm focusing more on making my maneuvers precise rather than just trying to get through it, which is what I was really doing before. Is I was just trying to get through it any way that I could without crashing, without paying attention to the shape of the loop or whether it was at the right height or anything like that. So now I'm working more on the precision part of it and realizing that the more I'm able to control the actual shape and height and everything else of the maneuver, I'm predicting that I will have a better success rate because I have a better understanding of what it is I'm doing.
Right. That's a good approach. You know, if a loop seems to be increasing, sometimes it's because it's a little bit nose heavy. If the loop seems to be decreasing, sometimes it's because it's tail heavy. So maybe you can find a balance where it's not so difficult for you to do it, where it just automatically just stays the same size. And that's sometimes between those two.
Well, it's a lot, and I think people who have been doing this for like a long time, they sometimes forget all the stuff that they had to learn along the way because it becomes automatic. Whereas, like, even though I've been working on this for a while now, I still started learning it at a later stage in my life. So it's like, it's just trying to coordinate everything, like from like trying to stay ahead of the plane, not letting it get ahead of me, trying to coordinate like the body motion with, spinning at the right speed and then stopping to do the maneuver and then continuing without it's just little tricks of it's like when you first learn how to fly, if you remembered how you got dizzy at first, it's the same thing. It's like after you do it enough, you don't think about it anymore. But when you're first trying to learn how to do it, it's like overload of trying to figure out all this stuff at the same time. So
absolutely, there's a lot going on. Let me welcome some people that have come in. Of course, I welcome Mike Lonke already, and I want to welcome Brad Lapointe. Thank you, Brad, for coming in. And thank you, John Miller, for coming in. And Caffeine, I thank you for coming in, Caffeine. I can't see you, but I see your avatar. And Crossel just stepped away.
There you go. Now you're on.
Hey, I think Lynn's in the house. Hey, Lynn. And
Hey,
this is your
guys.
friend Tom.
Oh, yeah, I want to introduce you to our Brad and I, Naomi's buddy Tom. He's a new guy on Stunthangar.
Fantastic. Hey, Tom, my name is Charles. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you made it in here. And I see, hey, Keith Trossel, thanks for coming in, Keith. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
And Stuart, thank you for coming in, Stuart. And as soon as I see Caffeine, I'll be able to tell him that same thing. And I'm sure Naomi's proud of you, Lynn, that you did it.
Are we looking for a rough night tonight because you got your referee shirt on?
No, I just, Dennis Adamison gave this to me, along with the yellow flag. And so I just thought,
He likes the feeling of authority.
no, I'm just doing this because he gave this to me and I should wear it once in a while. I just think it'd be neat. So no, I'm actually expecting a very fun night. So I hope I don't have to do any of that, But we'll see.
A number on the front there, bud.
What was that again?
Those
You need a number on the front.
Oh, that's a good idea. Need to get a number on that. Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to run because some of those referees are in pretty good shape.
I know I couldn't.
I understand that. I might run and just fall. So, anybody do any flying or building lately?
Just in my sleigh.
Just your sleigh? Yeah, I bet.
I was out a couple times this week.
Really? That's good
yeah.
news, Brad. What did you fly?
My old Fancherized Twister. That's my bad weather plane.
That's a good plane. What do you have on it for power for your Fancherized Twister?
Well, LA 46.
All right, nice. That'll work. I had one on mine too.
Works good in the wind. It's really overpowered. Goes like hell. Put it on 56-foot lines.
Oh, and no wonder it's going so fast.
That's short.
Yeah, that is very short.
I used to fly mine on 63, 64.
I meant 65. I got it backwards.
Oh, 65?
Oh, okay.
Oh, that's not too bad. And it's still fast?
Yeah. Got it propped pretty good. When it's windy, I put a lower pitch prop on it so it doesn't speed up too much.
That's a good idea. That's a great idea.
Well, we had Tuesday and Wednesday. It was cold, but it was dead calm both days and cloudy. So it was a good day. Both days are good for flying.
That's good. Now, as far as flying, are you able to do the full stunt pattern, or where are you at?
Yeah, I've done a few patterns.
Very good.
He's pretty good at it.
Oh, well, that's great. That's great. Well, you know you're really good at it. Is there a maneuver you really like, or there's a maneuver you're a little bit apprehensive about?
There's some I mess up more than others, but
What's your favorite?
I used to be really nervous doing the hourglass, but not so much anymore.
For me, the hourglass is the one maneuver that's really hard to salvage. I mean, if you don't start that thing right, there's just no saving that maneuver. I mean, you can finish it, but you just screwed the pooch if you don't get that first corner of the angle right. And then if you don't
get too wide across the top, and then you're buggered.
There's just no saving that maneuver. So that's the one that's kind of like, and you only get one of them. It's not like you can, maybe fix the second one. You only have one hourglass in the pattern.
I don't know. You do your inside or outside whoops, and you do two good ones, then you really do a bad one. It really stands out, though.
Yeah, that's
one and done has its advantages.
Hey, the stunt pattern is hard. I don't know who coined that phrase. Was it Billy Woolridge? But he said the stunt pattern is hard, or flying stunt is hard. It might have been Bob Whiteley, and that is so true. That is gospel.
Well, it's hard to fly it right.
Yeah. Yeah, so Lynn has a message here, and I don't know whose mic is squeaky or making noise, but there's one mic that's making some noise. I don't know what it is. So hopefully we'll discover that. And let me welcome Bob Whitley. Hey, Bob, thanks for coming in. I appreciate
Hey,
that.
Charles. Good
How
to
you
be
doing,
here.
Bob?
Doing pretty good. It's been a great week for flying and stuff. And I had the pleasure of sending a fellow for first solo yesterday.
On a full scale real airplane, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very good. And Al
It's always
Fierro's
a
in the
nervous
house.
thrill for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet that is. Hey, Al, thanks for coming in. Al, it's been a while since I've seen you and missed you.
Yeah, I've been watching on YouTube.
Fantastic.
You know,
So,
anyway.
Can you repeat that again, Al? I didn't hear you.
I said, I always been giving you the likes.
Thank you.
Every time you're on.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, you've been you're one of my stalwart supporters for a long time coming. I appreciate your support. I wish more people would at least do what you do, but you do a lot for the show. And I know you do likes, you do super chats. And so I appreciate that immensely.
Well, no problem. Welcome.
So anybody else do any flying? I know Brad LaPointe did some flying. I did some flying. I think
Yeah.
Mike Lonke is busy, but I think he raised his hand, and I imagine they were flying combat.
I did.
You did some flying too, Al?
Yeah, I purchased a P40 with a Super Tiger 46 on it and was regretting it after I tried multiple attempts flying it about, 6 or 7 times. And then kept on working on, the glitches. And last Sunday, I finally hit it right. It was the fuel tank was vibrating. And so I had to isolate the fuel tank and I had to cut, it's a profile and I have a plastic tank on it. And the plastic tank's on sliders. And the sliders were hitting the bolts that were tightening the tank to the fuselage. So I had to open up the slots and I put like an inner tube liner backer on everything. And
that's a good idea.
And man, I tell you, that Tiger was just growling. It went from a total disaster to like the best engine run ever, so.
Wow, because all I've ever seen on these P40s is LA 46s.
I was almost going to take the Tiger off, but my friend insisted to stay with the Tiger 46, and I did. And I was ready to put in LA. I have an old LA all ready for it, and I did put the Tiger. I mean, I gave it one last shot, and I'm glad I didn't change it.
Oh, that's good. I have about 3 Super Tiger 46s, and I actually prefer the LA 46. But I'm not a gearhead as much as you are.
I never had a plane. I mean, it's flying like 5.2, 5.3 lap times and on 61-foot lines and plenty of power going up. And it's just, 4-stroking away, and then braking up at the top of the maneuvers and stuff. The only last little glitch I got on it now is it's braking too hard on the insides and not on the outsides. I had to lower the tank some more.
Right.
So I had to work. I worked on it, so I have to go out again. But that's pretty minor compared to what I've been through with it already. So
is that on the profile P40L or the older full?
Yeah, it's an ARF, the Brodak ARF.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll get it. I'll show you guys.
Sounds good. I flew my Brodak P40 ARF today. I flew it the last couple times I've been flying it. And, I started the show off talking to Gary, and I was just saying, the one thing I like about flying the P40 ARF is that it looks like a real airplane. When you're holding that handle, you're looking at the silhouette of it. It looks like a real airplane. It's so enjoyable. And even the shape of it, because it's round, because the underside of the fuselage curves up and the top of the fuselage behind the canopy curves down. It's just a shapely airplane. I really enjoy it.
And you have an LA on yours? What do you have?
I have LA 46 and a cut down 12.5 Zor prop. I have a clunk tank on there. And You can see anything else unique about it. Ball links all around, and carbon fiber push rod shaft from the flap to the elevator. And
My mentor insists on an APC 12.5, and that's what's on there, and it works fantastic. But
yeah,
I was cursing that thing out for months. You know, I was almost going to just do a wing over and put it in the ground. I hated it so much.
oh man, I'm so glad you got past that. Oh, that would have been a waste. It really is a good flying airplane, and like I've said many times, Mike Lonke won intermediate at the Nationals with that plane.
No, a guy here has an LA-46 on it, and he placed it in advanced, won contests with that and flew really great.
Yeah, so it's a good airplane, no doubt about it. I'm really happy with it, and let me welcome some guests who've popped in since last time I welcomed. And Mark Wise, thank you for coming in, Mark, and Gordon Delaney, thank you for coming in, Gordon. And I'm glad to see that my other flying buddy here, Carl Reed, is not too tired, and he's.
I'll get it while you're.
I heard someone, but I don't know what they said. What was that?
That was Al saying he's going to get his plane.
Okay, cool.
You said Mark's on board?
Yeah, Mark Wise is here.
Hey, Mark, got the envelope yesterday. Thanks so much, buddy.
Okay, I haven't gotten your money yet.
Very, very good.
I'm glad you got it, Bob. My pleasure.
Yeah, those are real nice decals compared to the old ones.
Yeah, they are. They were actually made by Brodak.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah. So we should look at maybe getting a bunch more done and load up on them.
I have probably 150 left.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah. Charles is going to have some as soon as the mail comes.
Oh, good. Oh, I look forward to it. Thank you very much.
Yep.
Thank you very much. Does anybody else do any flying? I know that I was just talking to Al Fiero about flying his P40 ARP, which I flew mine today. Anybody else do any flying?
Building.
That's good. Hey, it's a building season too. So are you working on your marksman? What are you working on?
Oh, good memory. Good memory.
Thank you.
I started sanding all the primer off the marksman, then decided to stop so that when the impact is done, I'll be on the same, I could spray them together and do the same steps. So I spent, 10 hours with Bob Hunt today. So Bob and I must have about 22 hours. And basically, when I thought about it, what we're doing, of course, with Bob's wonderful help, is building a kit. When you come down to it, we've been building fixtures and building things that make an airplane straight. And he has some wonderful techniques, and he's nice enough to give me that kind of time. And he even gave me pizza tonight. Actually, I thought I was worth more than that, but I guess it was pizza. So it's really enjoyable. And I'll tell you, the highlight of the visit was Bob's collection of either videos that he's made or that he's seen and that he's copied. And he had one of the, matter of fact, I saw Keith in there several times, of the 8th annual VSC.
Wow.
With a lot of interviews, and he did a professional job doing it. And it connects names of people I've never met, kind of my heroes. In addition to Len, I have other heroes. So that was real nice. And since I have the mic for a second, I just wanted to, thank you. Keith, you come in anytime you want, but I had the pleasure of having a Zoom meeting last night with Keith, Frank McMillan, and Bob Hunt. And I was kind of the observer because this was the Hall of Fame committee. And I'm glad to say the committee has been alive and well. And we went over the procedures, and I just wanted everyone to know that we're going to make the presentations to those who get voted in at this year's banquet at the Nats. And Keith and I are gonna craft an email out to you. We're gonna put it on websites and everywhere. And I think we said the 15th of January, as long as it's postmarked by then. Is that right, Keith?
Yes.
Okay. Will be accepted. So if you're interested in thinking about nominating someone, anyone can do it, whether you're a Pampa member or not. Go onto our website, pampacl.org,
Right.
sign in and look for there's a spot there for Hall of Fame. All the forms are there. We need to know a lot about your candidate. You know, nice guys are great, but that's not necessarily someone who qualifies for the Hall of Fame. So we'd appreciate it if you think about that. Go on the website, get your nomination packet in by the 5th, at least have it postmarked by the 15th of January. And then the committee will review them and put all the ones that meet the qualifications out for a vote. Okay.
Oh, great. I'm so happy to hear this.
And I'll just, since I have a minute and I'll shut up, I promise. The voters are, number one, all alive Hall of Fame members, all Hall of Fame members who are still with us. All Pampa presidents, current and past, who are still with us. And the Executive Council of Pampa. So anyone can nominate, okay? Keith and the other two guys are kind of a clearing committee to not decide who gets in, but decide who's qualified. And then the other people that I just mentioned vote. And after all that is done, I believe it's as long as a person gets more than 50%. Is that right, Keith?
Yes, yes.
Okay. As long as the person gets more than 50% of the votes, so they'll be inducted into the Hall of Fame in July in Muncie. So Keith and I will do everything we can to make sure the word is out as quickly as we can, but you have the head start. And you know some people that probably you should consider nominating.
I definitely have someone very much in mind.
Well, thank you, Charles, but I'm not sure I qualify.
I wasn't thinking of you.
Oh, shocking.
Hey, Mark.
Shocking. But seriously, it's an incredible honor, and it's someone who's really performed exceptionally for the benefit of Stunt. Okay. So I'll be quiet. I had a great day with Bob. Tomorrow I start actually building the airplane, and it's looking good. And my goal is to have both of these airplanes done by the end of March, and I hope I can show some progress reports on Mondays and Fridays. So,
wow, fantastic. That's great. Hey,
Thanks
Keith,
for all your hard work with everything. That's wonderful, Mark.
Yeah. I probably only live a half an hour away from Bob.
really? Wow, man. You guys
well,
are
on the
lucky.
way to Bob's, Al, I live 2 hours away.
Okay.
On the way back, and 95 was down to one lane, I lived 3.5 hours from Bob. So you know what? It's worth it. If you've ever spent time with Bob in his house and in the shop, it's a real it's a joy and it's a learning experience. And
I've
both
never
of those are good.
never been there. Just the the contest he was.
You really should drop in if you can. He's gracious.
I know all the other guys, but
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah.
it's really not my forte. That
Well, just come over and mooch some food from him or something.
Yeah, I would love to be able to do that, to see his jigs and all the stuff he has set up for airplanes, just to learn like you're learning. I think you're very fortunate to be experiencing that, real time in person.
Well, I am. And Bob is very excited. He's been feeling better. In 5 weeks, he scratch built 2 Caprices, and they're gorgeous and light as a feather. And he'll be driving to, I guess, Indiana, pick up a passenger who's been on this program.
Yeah, Jim Vornholt.
Jim
Yeah,
Vornholt,
they're
and they're
driving
going
out together.
And they're going to the VSC. So I'm trying to figure out a way to get out there.
Oh, that'd be great. I'm actually entertaining maybe going.
Yeah.
Zach, because Bob, Bob Hunt and I have been talking for several years now. We've never met each other. We see each other on here, but we've never met in person. So I would love to.
Yeah, I've taught him a lot in the last couple of weeks, and he's catching on.
Bring your guitar.
Yeah. One last thing. This really will be the last thing. I think I've mentioned on here, and actually people in Pampa don't know this yet, so you'll be the first people. And I think I've said before, when the council didn't agree with me that we should think about moving the Nats every third year to somewhere else to get other people a shot.
Utah.
We did agree, or I agreed, that we'd have regional Pampa championships. And I'm happy to say, and all this is basically is to taking existing events, possibly coupling a couple together, putting Pampa behind it in terms of a little financial help, some advertising and marketing, getting more people to come to the events, getting more people to volunteer, which is a problem. And we have the first one in the Southeast, and it's going to be still called the King Orange International. And they'll still have the same events they had this year. It's also going to incorporate the people that go to Huntersville every year for Will Davis's contest and the Carolina Classic. And it's probably going to be in Florida, where the KOI was last year. It could be at Triple Tree. I'll probably know that within a month. We also have some bids for groups in the Northeast, which I'm excited about. But I'm going to ask all of you, I think you all have said to me in the past that the Southwest Regional Tucson, whatever they call that event, would be a great opportunity to partner with them and have some Pampa backing on that event. So if someone knows anyone there, I'd appreciate a call, a note, anything. We're not taking over the event. We're going to help. We're going to help any way we can. But what they say goes. It's not just going to be CLPA. It's going to be whatever they're used to running. And I just want to get Pampa's name further out and get people to see that we're a pretty good organization. So if you know anyone in the Northwest, anyone in the Midwest, possibly someone in the Oklahoma, Texas area that runs a good contest and maybe would like a subtitle co-sponsored by Pampa, I'd really like to talk to them because we want to get this going next year.
That's great. Well, I know you know Jim Hoffman, so he's a CD for the Southwestern region, I think, or maybe it's just a CD for the BSC, but it's the same site either way.
Yeah. So thanks for the airtime, and it's good to see everyone.
You're welcome.
Hey, Matt, if you do a Southeast thing, my vote would be to do it at Triple Tree. Just my 2 cents.
Well, it's mine too, Mike. The issue right now is money.
Got you.
Yeah. So I'm working on it, and I'd rather be a Triple Tree myself. So I'm with you. We're trying to negotiate.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fantastic. Let me ask again, anybody do any flying or building since last time we met? You want to share? What'd you do, Gordon?
Well, the reason I haven't been online, I've been in the hospital.
Oh, no. But you're out. So that's good.
I'm home now. My wife found me sitting in a chair, incoherent. I had COVID really, really bad.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Had what really bad? I didn't quite get that, Gordon.
Well, I had COVID.
Oh, COVID. Okay.
Oh, gee.
A bunch of guys showed up at my house. I thought it was the FBI collecting my rifles, but apparently it was the paramedics to haul me to the hospital.
Wow, I'm glad you're still with us. That's great. That's
The
good.
key word is had.
Yeah.
I'd like to thank Keith Russell too for the picture. I finally got to see the picture.
All right.
I would have contacted him sooner, but I haven't been around too much.
Very good.
Hey, Dennis.
Hey,
Hey, Charles, could I just ask Dennis a quick question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, Dennis,
Yes, sir.
is it true that people who fly electric don't get COVID?
Couldn't approve that by me.
Okay.
Dennis, thanks for coming in, Dennis, by the way. Welcome. Thank you for coming in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I say that, Mark, because I had the crud last February. So.
Oh, well, I was just kidding.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hey, Charles,
Yes, Mike.
just want to share something with everybody. I put in a nut and bolt order with RTL fasteners.
Uh-huh.
I had to get a bunch of metric stuff because we're flying all the Russian stuff now. It's all metric. And when I buy nuts and bolts, I buy them by the hundreds, not 5 or 10 at a time. But they put this little coupon in there. If anybody needs nuts or bolts, 20% off your order, and the minimum is $25, RTL 20. So if you need nuts, bolts, fasteners, washers, you can use that code, because it's not just for me. It's, you know, it's an ongoing promotion they're doing right now. You put code RTL 20 and you'll get 20% off your order. So
That's awesome.
Awesome. Thank you, Mike. Appreciate that.
Mike, where are they located? Sorry, where are they located?
it's online, www.rtlfasteners.com.
They're in
I
the
think
US?
they're in Virginia, but I can't swear to that.
Okay, I just wondered if they're in the US or somewhere else. Okay.
Well, I ordered yesterday morning at 9 o'clock and they were in my mailbox today. And that's they're just as good and just as fast as McMaster car. You get your stuff in like 24 or 48 hours max.
That's great. Let me, I have Al Fiero. He raised his hand digitally. Go ahead, Al.
Yeah, well, just that Mike brought up that subject for Mark. Micro Fasteners is right in Easton, PA. I don't know if you were ever there, but it's right in the center of town, right by the Crayola factory. And it's in a gift shop. In the back, they have because of the town requirement, they have to have like a gift shop or something to do with like crafts to have a store there. They couldn't just open up a nut and bolt place. So they sell cards and gifts and stuff. But the real thing is they sell the nuts and bolts in the back room. So if you go in there with crafts in your hand, you get a better break.
And I've used Micro Fasteners and RTL. They're both good companies.
Yeah.
Guys, go ahead.
Micro Fastener used to be only a mile away from my house down on Route 22, but then about 5 years ago, they moved out to Easton, PA. So they're right in the center, there. And they actually, I don't know, since after COVID, but they used to have hours till like 9 o'clock at night because they had the gift shop open.
Al, I was with Bob today, and that subject happened to come up, and he told me they moved out of the downtown into their home because it was costing them $3,000 a month in rent.
Right.
So they're great. They're great people. I've done business with both, and either one you're going to enjoy doing business with.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, the other one too. I don't know if you guys have Fastenal. That's a nationwide nut and bolt place. We had 2 here in Nashville. One in town and one in Franklin, real close. And I went over there the other day, and they're out of business, closed. So then I got online and I looked up the downtown location, closed, out of business. And I don't know when that happened. And they were really handy because they carried all the small stuff, the things that we use and the metric stuff. And but yeah, that was unfortunate, Fastenal. So hence the order from RTL. But it's nice to be able to drive to a store and get what you need that day if you're working on something. I hate waiting for stuff.
Absolutely.
That's a shame. I'm sorry to hear that, Mark.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, let me, I'm sorry, Al, sorry. Let me catch up with the chat box. The chat box is just running away from me. I got to catch up. So just bear with me for a second. Let me see here. I got to scroll up to catch up. Okay. So let's see here. I think this is regarding, let me just read it. Jeff Riley says, most of the control line planes look like a real plane on the box, but look more like a Gillows glider in the end. That's fun. And Tom Ramel says, I have 5 videos of the new C47D build on my YouTube channel. It has a 7-foot wingspan. That's fantastic, Tom. And then Jeff Riley says, Tom, I could hide behind that wing. Yep, Jeff Riley, I've seen him in person. He could hide behind that wing. So could I. And then Jack Fastnot, I haven't seen you in a while, Jack, but he says, what's the best way to slow down the airplane? More diameter or less pitch or combination? So I'm going to open that up to our illustrious panel. I have my own ideas, but what do you guys think? Diameter or pitch or a combination of above?
Speed brake.
Streamers?
Well, I'll just speak. Well, you know what? Go ahead, Al.
What engine?
What engine? I don't know if it makes a difference, really, but what engine do you have, Jack Fastnot? But Jack, sometimes it's a matter of just line length. If you have a happy motor run, if your motor is really happy, you really kind of want to keep it happy. So sometimes to slow it down, I will just lengthen the line length, providing the have enough power. I don't want the plane falling out the sky because I have too long of line length. And then I have done the pitch would be another way to do it too. The diameter, I don't necessarily use the diameter to slow a plane down. I use diameter to more help me get the motor to come on and go off. I go up, I want the motor to come on. If it's too much of a prop, it won't speed up enough. If it's too small of a prop, it's coming on all the time. So that's kind of like my 2 cents, but that's not necessarily the only way to slow down a plane.
I could share my problem I was having. I could show you if you want with the plane.
Say it one more time, Al.
I said I could show you my tank issues I was having. I have the plane here.
Yeah, just one second. Let me finish on the chat box. I'm just trailing them. Let's see here. Then Jeff Riley says, Jack, the most effective is to drop the pitch. If you only need a little bit, just back out the needle a tad. Yeah, I forgot about the needle, but you don't want to get out of your stunt run. But sometimes you can just needle it just a little richer and slow the plane down.
It depends also, Charles, whether you're running a 2/4 brake or a high-low situation. High speed, low pitch.
Right. Let me see, go on here. The handle is Ives 100. It says, hi guys from Australia. Well, fantastic, Ives 100. But we know our audience is all over the globe, but we have people from New Zealand, Australia, Scotland, Argentina, just to name a few. I'm sure I'm forgetting. Oh, Canada. I mean, in the show right now, we have like 3 people or so from Canada. So that's great. Thank you, Eyes, for coming in. And then Jeff Riley goes on to say, nice P40, Al. And Tom Ramel says, welcome, Ives from Australia. Glad you could join us. And I second that. And then Jeff Riley says, hi, Ives. And Enrique Perez, he says, hi, I'm from Panama. The planes I like best are the 70s, especially the deep nobler. I used to have one. Enrique Perez, I was born in Panama, but I don't speak Spanish. I was raised here in the United States. I was born in the Canal Zone. My dad was in the Navy. But so welcome. I would love to find out more if any flying in Panama. That would be great. So welcome, Enrique Perez. And then Tom Ramel, he says, welcome, Enrique from Panama. Glad you could join us. And Enrique Perez says, it's in my honor. Dennis Adamison says, like delivered. Thank you, Dennis. Appreciate that. Mark Lumen says, got you like. The move and the new shop is coming along. Did get some flights in this week. Brought home all the same pieces. I got there so that's a success. And he has a smiley face with tears from laughing so hard. And then Jeff Riley says, Enrique Perez, as much respect as I have for a Gieske Nobler, my personal favorite is the old green box by George Aldridge. And then Enrique Perez goes on to say, I wonder of any of one who knows where the Gieske Nobler kit could be found. Swap meets and eBay. I was fortunate to pick up a Gieske Nobler at the VSC a couple of years ago, and I feel very fortunate to have one. And then Enrique Perez goes on to say, yes, I also have an Aldridge. It is a very nice plane. And Jeff Riley says the old Nobler will fly better with less engine. And Enrique Perez says, I have flown both of them with a reliable 35 OS max. Yes, that's a good combo. And I just have a few more left. And then Enrique says, I would like to have the plans. And I think you can see the plans on Hip Pocket Aeronautics. I know they have the plans for both the green box and the Gieske Nobler. And then Stunthangar, that's Sparky. He says longer lines. That's referring to how to slow a plane down. Thank you, Sparky. And then Jack Fastnot says, I have an OS Max 35. So that answers your question, I think, Alfiero. And then Enrique says, nice engine. And then the last one, Jack Fastnot says, I think that the Brodak sells the Nobler kit. They sell what's called the original Nobler kit. In other words, the top flight Nobler was actually Aldridge designed that, but he was like 300 miles away from the actual Nobler. And so he drew the plans up to the best of his memory. And that's what we have in the green box Nobler. But the kit that Brodak has is the original Nobler. So this is not from memory of 300 miles away. And that's what Brodak has. Yes, John?
Charles, you might mention if he likes the Gieske, he might want to look at the Cub from Brodak, which is a 15 to 20 size. It's a reduced size Gieske Nobler.
That's a good idea. And I share your admiration and fondness of the Nobler. That was the very first control line plane I ever saw fly in my life. So I have an affinity and nostalgia, sentimental feelings toward the Nobler. And so I'm with you on that.
Dennis
and I see Dennis has his hand
I
up.
was just going to say the Brodak Nobler is actually the age of the Nobler design there is precedes the green box design. It's actually very close to what George flew originally in the 1950s. I believe they actually call it old time legal. It's it has, you look at it, it looks like it's got all the same stuff, but it's got, I believe it has 2 inches of wing offset. I believe the airfoil is a little bit thinner. I have seen a couple of them fly. They fly excellent. Bob Zambelli, for example, has one very, very good. Flying with a Fox 35. Jeff, you heard that, I'm sure. And they, Bob flies very well. I think he was right around 38 or 39 ounces, something like that. It's obscenely light.
Wow, that is light.
That's not a bad thing for a Nobler to be. They like being light. But at any rate, it predates the green box airplane. So just to make sure, I don't.
Very cool.
I believe RSM kits. I believe they say that their kit of the Nobler is a direct copy, whatever the right words are, of the green box. I think they changed the construction a little bit, but basically, I think theirs is more closely emulates the green box Nobler. As far as the Gieske goes, what you said about the plans and everything like that. If you want the one that was kitted, that's it. But remember, Bob Gieske flew Noblers in a lot of different variations for a long time. So if you started with a green box, you're going to be very accurate to the ones he was flying in 64, 65, 66 time frame. And later on, he made changes. The one that went into the Gieske Nobler kit box was, I believe, one of his last iterations, which was smaller than the ones that preceded it. So,
Then he had the bear. I said, then came the bear.
I don't have any experience with the OS Max 35, so any of the other guys know what is the best prop to use on it. You know,
10.6 anything.
10.6 anything?
Yeah, I used 10.6 rev ups. They were the best. Rev ups are outstanding props, but of course you could use any of the top flights or anything like that. Don't know how I deal with an APC. APC is a very heavy prop and stuff like that. I would be more fond of sticking to a wood prop with it, a 10.6 wood.
I mean, my experience with the McCoy 35 and the Fox 35 is a Bali 10.5 by 5.5. The plastic looks like an APC. That's an amazing prop on for a Fox 35 or the McCoy 35.
Yeah, I love my McCoy 35s with a 10.6 Grish. They seem
Yes.
to work great with a Grish nylon prop. It's outperformed
Three-blade.
anything else I put on it. So
3-blade.
no, it's just 2-blade, yellow.
Oh, you should see how they run on that 3-blade Grish, though.
Well, I know our friend Ed Southwick had a lot of success with that, but
They
what,
call it the
ran
West Coast power
35s
setup.
yeah, he ran 35s and then 40s, right? So
Yeah.
You guys, Bob Whitley, he raised his hand digitally. Go ahead, Bob.
Yeah, there's a few things. There's a bit of a different Nobler variant out too. It's sitting behind me. Mine has an OS Wankel on it, but I haven't finished it. I started that back in the 70s as a kid.
Wow, a Wankel engine, that'd be interesting.
So I gotta.
Heavy.
We don't want to break any more than.
So anyway, that'll be an interesting one when I get it done.
That would be.
A couple of things. I don't know if Al's tried a 11.6 EW rev up on a Super Tiger 46. Guys in the past used to have a lot of success with them with that.
And what was it again? What would
Rev up 11.6 EW extra wide.
Yeah, no, I don't have any of that, but we're just using a 12.5 APC.
Oh, let me make you big. Hang on a second. Making you big. Check that beautiful plane out. Oh, that's pretty.
It is so nice.
You know, and that's the Tiger. And the 6.5 ounce trunk tank.
Yeah.
And then, you know, I actually have two of them. The slots in this one were too tight.
Right.
This is the tank is glued on with goop to
Oh, I see.
the
Good
pad.
idea.
And then you know, then it's fastened with those little aluminum brackets. I can adjust the tank up and down.
Very good.
So this is my first experience with a Tiger. So usually you put the tank, like on a Fox, a little bit centerline, a little bit higher than a Venturi.
Right.
But then my insides were going too fast. And then I noticed with a Tiger, the Venturi is off-centered down.
Right.
So I think that was part of my problem.
Right. Yeah. If you're using the glow plug as a guide, that would have you off. Right. Which normally you use the glow plug.
Then I took a hard line. I said, "Oh, look at that! It's way, it's offset." So
yeah.
That's
Super Tiger 46 was my first real engine that I scrimped for when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Still have got about 3 of them. Something else I wanted to ask about is several months ago, we were talking about somebody in their area contacting Flight Test and see if we can promote some control line stunt on that, since they've got such a viewership, because they had that one show a couple of years ago where it was pretty pathetic with them trying to fly an 049, looked like a piece of junk actually, and it wasn't very successful. But we were talking about maybe promoting control line a bit through those guys if they're interested. So I don't know if there's been any follow-up on that with anyone.
Yeah. Hang on a second.
That is the battery compartment.
Hey, but Al, I like the rudder, how you have the checkerboard on the rudder and the yellow nose, because that's one of the nicest looking P40 ARFs I've seen. And you even have the shark teeth mouth. Oh, that's great.
It's cool looking.
That is
Very
cool.
nice.
That shark tooth decal, or what is that? Monocoat?
Yeah,
Hey, Al,
yeah.
have you tried a Zor wood prop?
No, I'm basically, I haven't tried any of those yet. But,
Those
you know,
are
Those are
really
excellent.
the, you know, a lot of you guys know Doug Benedetti. And
Yeah.
Doug says, what's the prop for this engine? And the way it's running now, it is the prop for the engine,
Well, that's good.
you know?
Very
He,
nice.
because he has a lot of experience with, you know, these Tigers and the Brodacks and the Foxes. He really gets them, you know, he taught me a lot. You know, he really gets engines running really, really nice. I mean, he's the only guy that I know. He decompresses a Fox 35 and he gets them to run with, you know, great power in the maneuvers and stuff, you know, on Noblers.
That's
What
a
prop
very
is
nice
that, Al?
example.
What's that?
What prop is that?
The APC 12.5.
Okay.
It's sort of, it's not like the typical, it's like a narrow tip, you see?
Okay.
But
Cool.
that works really, really good.
All right.
Very, very nice.
Is that full length?
Excuse me?
Full length?
Full length. Yes, it's not
Yeah,
trimmed.
full length prop. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not trimmed.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, it's so tiny tips. Yeah.
That's cool. Okay.
No, it's not modified, only balanced, but it
Okay.
it worked really good.
All
And
right.
this thing cruises along like, you know, like 5.2, 5.3, and it flies on 61-foot lines, islet to islet, and it's
That's good.
doing really good. It just
That's nice.
Because I want to run the same motor on my P40, the
Yeah.
ST46. I want to try. I've never tried one, so I want to try it.
Well, I mean, compared to an LA, it uses about an ounce more fuel, all 6 ounces. It runs under 8 minutes on 6 ounces. So you know, it's a bit of a fuel hog, you know.
Okay, it's a fuel
Compared to
hog.
LA
Okay.
46, but
Okay.
but the key thing, you gotta isolate the tank. You can't have nothing touching the, you know, the fuselage, you know. You
So that
isolate
black
the
stuff
tank.
is the inner tube that you use on that black that black stuff is inner tube.
Yeah.
That looks
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, I mean, this is some kind of foam stuff on this one, but if you look, let's see, you can see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see it.
underneath
Okay.
there,
Ah, okay.
it's like pond liner. It's like thick. It's like a thick inner tube.
Very good.
You know, you can see it. I have it in between the wood and the fuselage. You can see a gap in there.
Yeah, I see it.
And then I have it between the metal and the, you know, and the wood and the bolts that go through, you know, there's a big slot in there. So it doesn't hit the bolts don't hit the tank.
Okay.
Wow. Very good.
Yep. So it's working.
Very good, Al. Thanks
So
for sharing.
The last thing I had to comment on, Charles and everyone, before I got to go for tonight, it's been a long day. I went out and inspected a kit yesterday that a guy had built, and it's 12 inch to the foot scale, RV10. To show you the manuals I need to go through. He's wanting to he did a really nice job on it. It's a beautiful plane, but quite sophisticated. Anyway, he wants me to do the test flying for it, hired me. So this is one of the manuals.
All right.
That's just for the some of the instrument panel. This is another manual on the instrument panel I'll need to go through. And then this is the pilot's operating handbook manual.
Nice.
So it'll be a minimum 20-hour test program. It's fairly sophisticated. It might go a little bit longer than that, but anyway, it'd be an interesting challenge. I've had the pleasure of doing a test flight program for 3 other aircraft in the past. So anyway, it's a little bit different from control line stunt, but 300 horse and $350,000, but it should be a lot of fun. Plus,
Hey,
you get
Bob.
paid to do it. So
Can you put a Pampa sticker on that plane?
I'll talk to the guy if he's be willing to.
Okay.
He doesn't have the paint job on it yet, and he's budgeted 30,000 for the paint job. So I don't know about that, but we'll see.
Okay, I'll send you another one.
Yeah, some of the big ones. I think might be bigger. Hey guys, let me welcome Howard Rush. Hey Howard, thanks for coming in. I appreciate it. And also Sparky, he's in the house too. Thank you, Sparky, with his Aegis. And Mike, that must be Mike Lonke. He might have taken away his camera. So I think I'm all caught up there. There's a few more comments in the chat box. Let's see here, where am I at? Okay, so Enrique says,
anyway,
I know
thanks
that-
for night bags. Better down. It's gonna be a long day tomorrow.
All right, man. Hey, be safe. I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you for coming in, Bob.
Good night, Bob.
Okay,
bye.
see you, buddy.
All right, so Enrique goes on to say, I know there are guys in Brazil flying Aldridge Noblers from the original kits from the 70s. Wow, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, that's right. I remember Howard Rush won a contest down in Brazil. So Howard can probably attest to some of those guys flying Noblers down in Brazil. And let's see. And then
There used to be some guys in Chile, down the southern end of Chile, flying control line. I remember they came in. I think they were in Stunthangar. They were talking about Tierra del Fuego.
all right.
Tierra del Fuego. Yeah.
Let me finish this chat real quick. Let me see here. So then Sparky says, boil those props first. I think he's referring to the props that Dennis mentioned, I think. I don't think he's thinking about the rev ups.
No. If you find a Grish prop now, either hang it in your trophy room or destroy it. It's at least 25 years old. It's beyond redemption. All right. Do not take a chance with it. Do not fly it.
And then John Lytle, he says, I wanted to say, Gordon, I'm glad you feel better. Possibly see you in Roseburg in May.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, that's good. Thanks, John Lytle, for coming in the chat box too. And then Sparky mentioned a prop for the Super Tiger is 11.5 EW rev up. And that's not an easy prop to find. And then Enrique goes on to say, what a beautiful plane. I believe that's referring to your P40, Alfiero.
Thank you.
And then Jeff Riley says, old school, 10.6 wood prop, 50-inch wing. What could go wrong? Question mark. And then Enrique says, yes, 10.6 is an old recipe. And then Jeff Riley says, great starter. Enrique says, yep. And then Jeff says, my Olympic flies with 11.4. And then Jeff Riley goes on to say, with a Fox Deluxe 40. Now, Jack Fastnaw says, is there a RPM that these engines should be set at? I don't use Super Tigers on a daily basis, a 46. So I don't know what the RPM would be for a Super Tiger 46. I just don't remember what because I had a Super Tiger 46 in my Nobler, and I don't remember what the RPM was. And Enrique says, yeah, sure that. So we're all caught up with that. Hey, Mark Wise, was you going to show us something? I saw some wood.
Yeah, I'd like to. I don't think Bob would mind if I take a few minutes and show you how we design an airplane and how we design the fixtures.
Excellent.
I think it's pretty interesting. So basically, he has a drafting table. We took the moments off of a set of plans from Paul Walker on the impact. We moved the engine, wing, and stab a little bit closer to having an inline. We spoke to Paul. We called Paul. Both Paul and Howard said make the fuselage 3 inches. So basically, what we did, we took a piece of 1/8 inch plywood. First, we drew it. We drew it to size on a side view with calipers, and then put up a top view. Okay. And from the top view, we built this piece of plywood with the center line. Okay. All the stations, and each station will tell us, I'll have to do it this way, exactly how wide each former is going to be.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
So we took this and then we made two more, and we put on the bottom of them, they're mold bucks. So they kind of look like this. Imagine the same piece. Here's the piece. Okay.
Right.
And on the bottom is a 3/4 inch by almost 2 inch. Oh, I don't know what you'd call it. It's just a base for it to keep everything straight.
Right. Right.
Okay.
Very nice.
And it turns out you put this in a vise, and the blue part, if you look underneath, we still have where all the stations are. And the
Okay.
reason for that is we put them on the side. Okay, you see them over here?
I do. I do see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's where after this piece is formed, right now it's flotation foam. It sands beautifully, absolutely beautifully. So we draw the center line on top. Okay.
Uh-huh.
We glue this on, we put it in the vise, let the epoxy settle down, and then we'll put a center line on that piece and come up with something like this.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you can see where our marks are right here and here
Uh-huh.
and here. We slid this. You can use a piece of probably 3/32 wire if you have it. Bob just used a hot wire. We lined it up and we put the hot wire right through each section.
Right.
Here, here, here. Okay.
Uh-huh.
And then you just put cross grain the formers in here, mark them, and then you can have an exact former to go under your sheeting, the top
Right.
and the bottom. So this
Right.
gives you the molded bucks. Okay.
Right.
I left out a step. When you get to this point, and it really doesn't take that long to shape them, maybe a half hour. This one is the top block, and the other one, the longer one, is the bottom block. We put on 2 coats of thin epoxy, like Z-epoxy,
Uh-huh.
okay, to make the outside rigid. And then we put in the balsa wood cross grain, mark it, take it out, sand it to shape right on here.
Right.
Okay, so now what we have are formers that will exactly fit the top
Correct.
sheeting of the airplane.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes.
And then we'll find suitable balsa that'll bend fairly easily, put a couple of sheets together, wet it, put it over this. Remember, it's covered with epoxy. And then we use ace bandages to wrap it around the entire fixture. Okay. And the next day we'll pull it out, cut it to size, and it'll fit exactly the dimensions we have for the fuselage. So you end up with a very straight piece, really simply done. I don't think probably half the time building this is going to be just building these pieces.
Right.
Bob can knock them out real quick.
Right.
But I take more time because I'm not as familiar with the technique as he is.
Right.
But
Absolutely.
it's a wonderful way, especially if you want to build more than one.
Correct.
Okay. Or if you have damage. So I like this a lot. All this is that in front of this area, it's hard, everything is backwards here, is going to be the cockpit, and then in the front is going to be a block. So that's why the top only has this section.
Okay.
The rest is going to be a canopy in the block. Again, I just used epoxy, use a straight edge to make sure that these lines, are 90 degrees to the spline.
Right.
But it ends up with something that's pretty nice, and you can make it any shape you want.
That is really nice. Yeah, I've
This
seen
is-
he had an article, I think, called the True Fit
Yeah.
article, and I think it kind of explains that, but I'm glad you're showing that. That's great. Now,
It's
where did
really
you get
pretty
where did you get that flotation foam at? 'Cause I've never seen it in any store.
A boat supply company.
Okay.
And you buy a piece that's got to be 4 by 6 by maybe a foot thick. Okay, so that's what the size they're used to selling. But it hot wires very easily. He has a several saws. It cuts very easily. You can't do this with styrofoam. It'll just fall apart.
Yeah.
But
I've
this
been meaning to
blue-
get that flotation foam, but I've never secured any.
Yeah, go to a marine supply place.
Thank
Okay.
you.
And tell them Al Ferraro sent you.
Thank you. Speaking of Al Ferraro, he actually gave us the super chat. 19, I imagine it was $20. Thank you very much, Al Ferraro. I appreciate that. Yeah, Model Sex Modelers is his handle. And we got a super chat of $19.99. Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
There you go. So I just wanted to show you some of the things we're doing. And so now I can start building. And if you want to change the shape, you just change the sanding. If you want
Right.
to change the height, you just
So what
change.
model is that, Mark? Is that something custom or is that?
I'm sorry?
What are you building?
Oh, we're building a modified impact. Okay, a little more rounded than the standard impact, but the same dimensions, the same 18 inches flap line of elevator line. Paul suggested, I think Howard too, that we added an inch to the front because the original plans are for a glow.
Okay.
Okay, so we added an inch. The front now is about 12 inches, maybe 11 and a half. It's a fairly large airplane. It's going to be electric powered. The name of the motor is a badass. I think it's a 3515.
So it's a 60 size plane?
I'm sorry?
A 60 size plane?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, Howard flew it. He's flown it the last several years, I think, at the Nats. His impact, which is really pretty. Paul, of course, has done it for years. And Paul had a great comment when Bob said, Paul, should we put it all in line? And without being degrading, Paul said, Mark, is this for you? And I said, yeah. And he said, well, I do those things to get 1 or 2 extra points. I do things I'm not even telling you about because at your level, I'm I don't know, maybe a 30% advanced flyer. I can fly the advanced pattern. I'm not going to win unless I start flying a lot more. And I'm certainly going to like Howard or Paul or some of the other guys on here.
Right.
But I wanted an airplane that was way beyond me, but still had good numbers. And people say it's a good airplane. So Bob was nice enough to do some doodling with me. And the other thing it'll have that the standard one doesn't, which I put on the Marksman, are cheek cowls.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and they're going to be functional as they are on the Marksman. So I'm excited about it. It'll keep me out of bars. And people say, does the Pampa president know how to fly?
Yeah, we're going to see you at all the local contests then.
There you go. So
As long as he keeps you.
that's kind of the things we do. It's really interesting and it comes out perfect. So thanks for the
Thank you very much, Mark. Thank you so much.
Just don't end up behind bars.
That's true.
Hey, Len, did you know your wife was on here?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, she was. Lucky me.
Yeah, lucky you, man. Yeah, she was great. Tell her thank you very much. When you get off the air, tell her Charles really appreciated her to come in. Hopefully that.
All right.
Matter of fact, I was excited because when Tom came in, the handle was Nancy, and I was thinking that Naomi actually inspired another woman to come in. And I was even excited about that, So, not that I'm not excited or happy for Tom to come in, but his handle was Nancy. And I was like, "Whoa, 2 women, that'd be great."
This is my wife's computer.
What's that, Tom?
I say this is my wife's computer.
Right.
That's why it's got Nancy.
Oh, I understand. That happens often. I totally get that, Tom. Hey, Howard, what did you say? Your mic was muted or you did it really quick. What did you say, Howard?
I said, everyone knows Tom is Nancy.
Very good. Very good. So
like
are you at
her,
home,
just make me feel
Howard?
welcome.
Are you at home? Because your background looks unfamiliar.
He's at the other end of the shop.
He's got his mic muted again.
We can't hear you.
That's okay, Howard. It's no big deal. I just thought maybe you was in a hotel and you was on your way to another contest.
Howard, are you still on there?
Yeah, he's still here. He's just at Mike's meeting.
There he is.
Stop
Yeah,
by.
Fishers, Indiana.
Yeah, Tim just stopped by for a couple hours today.
Yeah, he sent a picture of you with the clock.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's still a wall hanger.
Very good. So, Howard, are you home or are you on your way to a contest?
Alas, I'm neither. I'm in Fishers, Indiana.
I didn't quite get that. I heard Fishers something.
Indiana.
Oh, Fishers, Indiana. Indiana. How far is that from Fort Wayne?
About not quite 2 hours.
Oh,
Straight down I-69, just before you get to Indy.
Yeah, so you're not too far from Dennis.
No, nor the cats.
Not far enough anyway, huh? But anyhow, so Howard, it's good to hear you're back. That's actually back home, isn't it?
Well, I'm at my sister's place.
Yeah.
Going through the what's left of her house.
After the dryer duct fire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Well, if you get the urge on the way home and you want to divert south about 2-3 hours, come down to Nashville, man. We'll fly some combat, Howard.
Yeah, I couldn't. I was not allowed to drive.
Oh.
So I had to take an airplane.
Oh, you're on an airplane this time. Oh, okay.
Mike, my son was in Nashville last week.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Man, why you got all these family members coming here and not hooking me up, man? I'll take them out honky tonkin', man. I'll show them the town, man.
They were there. They were at bachelor party.
Oh, bachelor party. I like bachelor parties.
My daughter's getting married next Saturday. So.
Oh, okay.
So they went. I think from Thursday to Sunday they were down in your area.
I could have taken them out and gotten them in some real trouble, man.
They can find it. Trust me.
Yeah, we'd be calling father-in-law Al for bail money, man.
Yeah, right. I'd let him stay there.
Yeah, well, I'm sure they had a good time. Nashville's a fun town for people that come here for the tourists, and it's not a bad place to live either. So,
yeah, they all made it back home.
Good deal.
Best of all.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
Since there are a couple of combat guys here, can you talk a little bit about next May?
Yeah, I could. Did Lester get a hold of you yet?
No.
Okay, he hadn't reached out to you yet.
Sorry.
So Mark approached me and asked me to ask around in the combat world if anybody would be interested in flying some combat at the Joe Nall next year, the Triple Tree Fly-In at Joe Nall. And I put up on the MACA site, and lo and behold, actually got a lot of interest. Quite a few people that want to come to the site and fly combat. Come to the site in general because, of what it is, Joe Nall, the big fly-in and all that, and to check out the control line and all the RC lines and the full-scale aviation airplanes, the museum that they have there and the learning center. And Lester Horry out of Texas, who's a CD, and he runs what's called an air-to-air combat series that he came up with. It's basically speed limit combat with electric airplanes that are warbirds. So they have this little subcategory called air-to-air. So they're Mustangs and Zeros. I think the Mirrors even have a twin P38 Lightning, and it's electric speed limit combat. And we're going to have 2 days of combat. First day will be just normal, speed limit with IC motors. And then Sunday, we're going to run the air-to-air series on the first weekend of Joe Nall. It looks like the Mearses are coming from Texas. Mike Urban out of Florida. Of course, Sam and I will be there. Jeff Johnson and his wife Tammy are coming. And of course, Lester. And then whoever else we can draw. Maybe we get a couple East Coasters. Tom Luciano said if he was down there, he'd fly combat. We might get Rick Osborne out of Florida. So looking like we might get, 10 guys, just fly some laid back, easy speed limit stuff. So.
No
Thank you,
such
Mike.
thing.
Are there dates for that event yet, Mark?
Mike asked him, what is it, the 10th
Yeah.
month? Is that right?
Hang on. Let me just pull up the calendar here. Jono, the gates open. Wait a minute. Where are we at? It's in May, right?
Yes.
I'm sorry. It's in May. Gates open on the 12th, May 12th.
That's a Friday.
That's a Friday. We're going to fly the event the 13th and 14th. And then the rest of the week, 15th through the 20th, is just open control line flying for anybody. The whole week is control line. Basically, the 12th through the 20th is all control line. It starts on a Friday and it ends the following Saturday. So, but we're going to do the event the first full weekend that it's happening.
Super. Thank you.
Yep. It's a beautiful site. I encourage anybody who's not been there to try to go. Just the entertainment value of walking the different RC flight lines is worth it. If you like that stuff, if you like RC stuff and you like seeing some of the latest, greatest, big, giant gassers and some of the turbine jets and just, you think, trying to get a 20-point airplane at the Nats is hard. Some of these scale guys, man, they're insane.
Yeah.
That they put those things out there and depend on servos and receivers to bring them back in one piece, man. It's, there's $20,000 airplanes out there easily for a toy airplane, a $20,000 toy airplane.
Yeah. They'll be pushing 1,000 registered pilots.
Yeah.
1,000.
1,000.
Wow.
For a fun fly?
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's just an RC fun fly. But there's, what do we count, Mark? 6 flight lines total with control line?
That sounds about right. There's a beautiful lake for float flying.
Mm-hmm.
And then the crazies fly 3D at the other end of the runway. The runway is 7,500 feet. And it's just beautifully manicured grass for the full scale. And during the Joan All Week, the runway is closed, so people can fly RC, control lines, sailplanes, whatever they have.
Wow.
But it's pretty special.
It is. The nighttime flying wing races that they do are insane. I think I live streamed from there. Well, I was on the chat one night. I don't know, Charles, if you remember that. We were on the live chat on Friday night when they were doing it. The electric guys do a pylon race after dark they're just wings. They're electric RC wings, but they're completely covered in LED lights. They're just flying wings, and they fly. They're like Zaggies, if anybody knows what a Zaggy is.
Yeah.
And they fly about 80 miles an hour. They're super fast. Well, these guys do a mass launch. They put up like 50 of them at once, and they run pylon up and down the runway. And it's just like gnats, LED gnats purple, yellow, green, red, or every color imaginable, going back and forth, up and down, flying pylon. They're smashing into each other, crashing all over the place. And the last man standing is the one who wins the race. But it's like, it's 50 airplanes at a time. It's insane. You know, they could have never done anything like that before 2.4, before Spectrum radios came out, you know, because we only had, what, 10 channels, 12, I think, whatever it was.
Wow.
But it's really something to see. It really is.
I
Pretty
bet.
cool.
Yeah.
I bet.
Wow, dead air. We killed the show, Mark.
Well, I don't know how people feel about the Pampa president talking about combat.
Oh yeah, I know, right? It got like deathly quiet. Nobody wants to hear that crap, man. They don't care.
I don't know if it was that. I don't
I
know
don't
what
know
it
how they,
was.
I don't know how everybody feels about the Tampa president to start with.
Yeah, there you go.
There you go.
Glenn, all I can tell you is that I ran unopposed and did not get every vote.
Wow, I can't believe
You
it.
know,
You should start building some combat ships with Bob.
Yeah, there you go. Hey, Charles,
Yeah.
I do have, remember we talked about Andy Lee posting all that stuff on the Pampa site,
Yes.
the photos. If you want to give me, you know, 5 minutes here, I can
Yeah.
scroll through
Yeah.
some
Let
of
me
these
fix the
pictures.
screen share. I didn't do that. I'll fix it right now.
Okay.
Mark, are you going to fly combat?
There you go, Mike.
You get every tools.
I might try if Mike has an extra plane.
Yep.
Hey,
Uh,
Charles,
I don't know, Sam. Do we got any extra planes for Mark? I'm not sure, man.
I think you might find something. Maybe just one, maybe.
Yeah.
hey, Charles,
Yeah.
can you blow up Brad? He has an airplane that looks exactly like a
I'll be
cat.
back in a minute.
All right, Mike. And yeah, this looks like a cat. I think it might be a cat.
Oh, that really
that's-
looks like a cat.
Yeah,
It's a Cat 60.
That's a Super Cat 60.
Yeah, Super Cat 60.
It's a combat cat.
Combat cat.
Combat cat.
Very.
Must
I've
be
heard-
like
I
must
think
be
it's a
a,
combat kitten.
he must be electric. You can't hear him.
Yeah, that's the electric combat kitten.
Hey, John, where's your cat?
I chased her out.
Oh,
Here she is. All of a sudden, she don't want to be up here.
Oh, another kitty.
So this show is going to the cats and dogs now. I mean, first we had dead
God.
silence, and now we're going to the cats and dogs.
I'll go get my dog. I'll go get.
Yeah, I agree, Dennis.
What did Dennis say?
Just look
Oh
at him.
yeah, thank you, Dennis. Make you big.
Here,
Get
I got
back
the
to
propeller.
model
I got a
airplanes.
propeller.
Yeah, that'll help. Thank you. Thank you. Yes.
Charles, you're slipping.
You're right. Yeah. Thank
Okay.
you very much.
Oh, look, Canadian Air Force. I like it.
Yeah, I
That's
bet.
impressive.
I bet. Thank you very much.
Are we ready, Charles?
We are ready. Please save us.
All right, I'll save you here. And y'all just tell me when. So I went back as far as I could to when Andy started posting these pictures. And there's a lot, but I went back several weeks. And we'll just go through some. When you get tired of seeing them, we'll stop. And then the next time we have a show, we'll do some more, okay?
All right. sounds
Perfect.
good.
Everybody seeing that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's Bob Barron at the 87 Nats, if anybody knows Bob.
Oh, yeah.
And
Is
let me
Is
see
that-
here.
a cardinal in the background there.
Yeah, it looks like a cardinal back there.
Like it is. Yeah. Looks like
Yep.
it is.
We're
Okay.
seeing your screen, but
My
we're not
clicker's
seeing.
working. All right, there's Bob Whiteley's LA Heat, 1988 Tidewater Nats.
Oh, that is sweet looking.
Yep.
All right. I'm not going to spend too much time on every picture unless somebody has a comment or knows somebody or has a question about the plane.
Sure. Is that Wendy?
Wendy U and Bill Suarez, 88 Tidewater Nats,
Yes.
Chesapeake, Virginia. So, yeah, that's looking Cardinal-esque, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah, it definitely is.
that's a
Yeah,
wind
look-
cardinal.
Look at the old Fox fuel can.
Yeah, I'm checking that out.
Yep. And let's see.
Ooh, I like that.
Bob Lampioni's.
Bob Lampioni's original United from 73. Designed it prior to 69. There you go.
Beautiful.
Too bad Peter's not here. He's building one of those, isn't he? Oh, no, he's building that Michigan something. Tom McLean's Crusader Brodak contest.
Nice. Was this a laser?
Bob Whiteley.
Bob Whiteley. Showtime.
Showtime.
89 Nats. Wow. Nice.
Very cool.
Big Jim Greenway, Flushing,
All right, there he is.
1980s.
I've got that picture downstairs.
You do. Very
Yeah.
cool.
Anybody know the name of that airplane? That's Black Sunday. That's
Black
Wendy
Sunday?
Ertnowski. Yep, Wendy Ertnowski's Black Sunday.
Very nice.
High aspect ratio.
Yeah, very.
Mike Rogers Pattern Master, 1987.
Mm-hmm.
It says Big Jim Hemi on the side of that. Anybody know what that means?
Big
Jim
Jim did
Greenway.
it.
Big Jim Greenway.
What was he a motor guy too? Because it says
Yeah.
Big
Oh,
Jim
yeah.
Hemi on there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Hemi Head 60, Tiger 60.
Nobler there.
Yeah, I don't think that was Tom Dixon's.
Cincinnati, yep.
Yep, at Brodak. There's some appearance judging pictures from 1990 Nats, Lawrenceville. Okay, this is where we're going to start to see a few people that everybody recognizes.
I think that yellow plane was Wendy's Sidewinder.
Arch Adamson, 1990 Nats.
Ah,
Second place senior.
Nice.
Great job.
Yeah.
Is that the single prop version there, Dennis?
It's Bill Suarez again, pattern master.
That's pretty.
I think he did the F4 Phantom too.
He did.
Oh, that is pretty.
Bill Suarez and Ski Dombrowski.
Dombrowski. Yep.
Anybody know who that is?
Derek Barry?
That's Derek Barry, man. 1990 Nats.
Wow. Been around for a while.
There you go, the seniors. Nat Gifford, Arch Adamson, and Todd Lee.
Todd
Look
Lee.
at
Yeah.
1990.
Wow.
Dennis, was Arch flying the single blade prop? I don't think he's there.
Hey, Howard, check out. There's Jose Modesto,
Jose Modesto.
1990.
Pattern master.
Yeah, just a nobler.
What do you mean? Nobler?
There you go. Nats, Paul Walker first, Jim Cassell, Billy Warwich, Gene Atkinson, Ted Fancher, senior Nat Gifford, and junior Derek Barry.
That's a neat picture.
Very nice.
Billy's Junar.
Oh,
Casminato.
Casminato.
Yep, Kaz, 1990, same place. Mr. Yokoyama from Japan.
Nice airplane.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Nice airplane. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Rick Campbell.
Wow.
There's Wendy Sidewinder.
Wendy's Sidewinder. That looks like that was taken in a hotel room. There's a mirror on the back there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it was at the appearance judging that you showed earlier. That's
Oh, okay. Yep.
Yep. Nice airplane.
Derek Barry, Paul Walker, and Nat Gibbard, 1990 Nats.
Wow.
Look at Derek, man. Look how little he is.
Yeah.
Was, yeah.
I think he chewed tobacco then.
That's Wendy's Red Baron.
Yeah, very
Yep.
nice.
89 Pasco Nats, Tri-Cities, Washington.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. That's
Top 5 airplane.
Is it still around? Is that airplane
No,
still?
no, it crashed.
It
crashed.
Bob Zambelli crashed it around, I'm guessing 2007 or 6.
Oh, okay.
Crashed.
Yeah,
It
it's
fell
on video.
apart.
I've seen the
It was-
video.
Yeah, it was oil soaked and it fell apart.
87 Lincoln Nats.
Oh.
Arch posted this one.
Wow, interesting plane.
You know anything about that one, Dennis?
I don't think Dennis is with us.
Oh, did we lose him? All
He
right.
might have gone somewhere.
Pasco Nats, Tri-Cities. More interested in the pictures of the people.
Yep.
Anybody recognize anybody in there? I see.
see Shireen
Shireen Fancher. Yep.
Todd Lee.
He's on the right.
That guy in the middle row, second from the end, he looks familiar though.
Someone's GB here.
Looks like
It doesn't.
Is that Behringer?
Yeah, it's
Behringer's,
Behringer.
Behringer's GB.
Oh,
There you go.
There's Ted.
There's
Yep.
Ted. Yep.
With his temptation.
Temptation.
Nice airplane. Beautiful.
Pete Peterson.
Hey,
had
Art.
your-
Big Art.
Art. Yep.
Yep.
Is that a Magnum?
Is that a Magnum? It's like a
Yeah, I think
Magnum.
it is. Yep.
Yeah. Magnum. Jim Reddick. Don't recognize his name.
Is that a
Often
S11?
wonder what happened to a lot of these guys. Bob Whiteley.
Bob Whiteley.
Hey, back up one, will you?
Back up one.
Yeah. Right there, that's my twin.
Oh, very cool.
That's yours?
That's mine. It's a Gemini.
What's the name of that model, Gordon? What is that?
That's called a Gemini.
Gemini.
Is that a video?
I think it
Yeah.
might be.
Video.
Cool.
See what happens.
Gotta turn the sound off.
Oh, the noise are
Wow.
to my ears.
The cat just went nuts.
Terry must have done.
'84, '85.
Turbo S35 thing.
Nice.
I told Bruce Perry, he wanted to buy that. I said, if you want to come and get it, I'll give it to you. So he drove all the way down from Canada, spent about 3 days here, and took it home.
Nice.
Oh, Dave Fitzgerald? No, who?
Yes.
No.
Mike Rogers.
Mike Rogers.
Yeah, Mike.
I love the conversion van in the background there, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Who's that youngster?
I saw Derek Barry.
That's Derek.
A little older.
Some more of the appearance judging.
There's the Zap machine.
Oh yeah,
That's Mike
Steve
Busso.
Buzzo's.
Mike Busso, yep.
Oh, Mike. I thought
Steve Busso. Steve
Steve
Busso.
Buzzo. Yeah. Very nice.
Dan Winship.
Yep.
Nice guy.
Very cool.
Where was that picture taken? No, Lawrenceville. Okay.
Yeah. Ted Fancher again.
Yep.
Pretty airplane. Dondi.
Dondi.
Yeah. Dondy Garrison.
Nobler-ish.
Roland McDonald.
All right. Bob McDonald's father.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Bob Whiteley again.
Bob Whiteley again. Now there's something
Oh,
weird.
that's interesting.
Wow.
Anybody know anything about that?
Where's the front?
Which way is it going?
That's my question. What way does it fly?
That's interesting. I wonder how well it did.
Well, you don't see a whole lot of them in the top 5, so I'm guessing didn't work out too swell.
Yeah, since nobody knows much about it, it probably didn't win.
Probably not first or second.
Oh, there's Scott Wright.
Oh, there he is.
Silver Lancer. I
Right,
got to see that airplane.
Scott. Todd Lee again.
Lee, yeah.
With one of many Mustangs that he built, I'm sure.
Yeah.
That the one that had the collapsed ribs? Yeah, that was a foam wing with balsa caps on it and collapsed.
Big Jim Greenway.
There's Big Jim again.
Yeah.
Pretty nobler.
There's snow on the ground in this picture. Holy
Big
cow.
time.
Yep, 1988.
Hey, do you guys know? I didn't know this till Bob told me, but Big Jim was best known because he made the best motors for slot car racing in this country.
Oh, wow.
Until 2 guys copied his.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a Zap machine.
Steve Busso.
He drew some great plans.
Yeah, we must be getting into the 90s now. I can tell by the sunglasses.
69. Wow.
Yeah, it's Big Brother Arch. He's the same one that made the triple canard airplane that you saw a while back.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
Oh, you're back, Dennis. How did that thing fly?
It grooved like nothing you ever saw before, and it cornered tighter than anything. It was the strangest thing because you'd think from flying at level and flying round loops it wouldn't do anything, but at time for a square corner, boom! Thing really, really cornered well. I don't know why. Well, he didn't do much with it, and I never copied it or anything like that. But there's a couple of them out there. People are looking at it again, so maybe we'll see a little bit more sometime.
Look at
Hey, Mark.
the tail length on that.
Who's that, Mark?
That's Craig Gunder.
Yeah, I know, right? I just met him at Joe Nall this year.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Look at the length. Look at this. Look at the length of that fuselage.
Yeah.
Look at those white pants, man. What's with all the white pants in stunt, man?
Oh, man.
Bring
There's-
it back.
There's
young
Dave.
Dave Fitzgerald.
David.
That's Dave there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're in 1991. It's still at Lawrenceville, Illinois. Bruce Grifford, ED.
Oh,
Flushing Meadows.
Flushing Meadows.
Cap 21.
Doug Cook, whoever that is.
That Dave Cook's son, possibly.
Yeah, this guy
Another
again.
SV11.
Yep.
Yeah. Wonder who that is.
I
Bill-
guess that's the last proof you need that the SV is nostalgia.
30,
Yeah,
30,
I know.
30 years
There you
old.
I was
go,
thinking the same thing,
1991
Dennis. Yeah,
picture.
proof positive.
That's that's the proof right there. N30, the SV, right?
Yeah.
Right.
That's it. These pictures are a treasure trove for that. Because what's Bill flying right there? What is that airplane?
SV something.
That's an SV as well.
It's an SV as well. Okay. Oh
There
yeah,
it is.
it says SV on the tail. So yeah, just because these got dates on them.
Hey, pictures don't lie.
Billy Werwidge with his GeoXL 93. So guess what? Next year the GeoXL is N30 legal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
I got the plans for that.
Bill Rich 1990 Tracker. So the Tracker's N30 legal.
Bill would wear clothes that matched his airplane.
It looks that way, doesn't it?
Yeah,
It
because he got
does.
the other one before. It's really
Hey, there's
cool.
Bob Barron's Avanti.
Yeah.
That's a sharp looking airplane.
Does look sharp. There he is.
Les
My
McGrath.
man.
84 world champs.
Yep. Chicopee, Massachusetts.
Derek Barry won the world champ in 96. Gruber won in 04. Both flying dreadnoughts. Randy Smith's
Yeah.
Magnum.
Look at the
Contra.
propeller.
That Contra prop.
Look how
Oh
long that
yeah,
nose
oh
is.
yeah, that's the one, isn't it? That's the one I read.
That
Counter-rotating.
prop just freewheeled. It wasn't powered.
Oh, it
One
wasn't
free wheeled, one in front and one in back.
The back.
Oh, okay.
Had a real strange sound.
Mike Rogers, pattern master.
Kaz.
Astronaut
Yeah.
Tom Lay. Yeah.
Oh, was that Tom launching for him? Paul Walker. Discovery. Boy, that looks like a Cardinal rudder, doesn't it?
Sure does.
Sure does.
Looks like he has no leading edge sheeting.
He doesn't. It's an I-beamer.
It's an I-beamer with looks like it's got an impact tail and a cardinal vertical tail.
I wonder where all these airplanes are, if they're still
Yeah.
survive.
Satin. Yeah.
Dombrowski.
Well, that's a pretty plane
Yes.
with those twin rudders.
It's Jose Modesto's pattern master there.
Another SV11 in
SV11
1991.
91. There you go.
More proof. Okay, these don't have I like the pictures of the guys,
Yeah.
Zap machine.
not just the
There's
planes.
Billy's Junar.
Bob McDonald.
Yep.
Mike Pratt. Flying a Magnum.
Wow.
Al Reed. I don't recognize that name. Anybody know him?
I've just read about him.
Look how young Jose is in that picture, man.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Lou Wolgast.
Yep.
Cool
Wow.
airplane. Look at that airplane. That's cool.
And
What's it?
Mirage. Pretty.
Oh, Mirage. Well, that looks like something Hunt would build, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Notice the stab. They've got more elevator than they've got stab on it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
now today it's the other way around.
The other way around. Well, I want to thank those guys for figuring that stuff out.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, yeah, Jim Hoffman.
Yep.
Oh, it's too bad Jim's not on here tonight.
Yeah, look at that lace paint job again.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife knocked that off his bedroom wall when we were staying with him.
Oh, no.
Oh man, she must have
Get
felt
up underneath
terrible.
it, and fortunately, she caught it before it hit the ground.
Wonder how that counterbalanced elevators work for him.
Yeah. Ed Southwick.
Ed Southwick.
Isn't that his big one? Big airplane?
Skylark 2, it says.
Yeah.
Kaz again.
So the Blue Max is also nostalgia legal.
Yep.
Todd Lee rocking the mullet, man.
I've got a Blue Max kit sitting on my shelf.
I have a Blue Max wing.
Frank Williams.
Frank Williams. Wow.
Yeah, I think he posts on Stunthangar occasionally.
What model is that? Do you know?
It's like a Nobler.
I think it's bigger than a Nobler, but yeah. Look, the tapered hinge line.
Yeah,
and
it's got a tapered
like
hinge
that.
line.
Yeah.
All right, that's right. Todd Lee, first senior. Bob Hunt, fourth. Paul Walker, first. Bill Rich, third. Wendy, second. Robbie Hunt, first junior.
That was Wendy's best nats.
That's right.
Second place, 91.
Wow, that's pretty good.
I thought he placed second.
Is
Not
that
sure.
English one in the back there?
I don't know any of those people.
Picture's pretty small. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, I know. The problem is, if I blow it up, I lose my.
Yeah, no,
and
don't do it. Don't do it.
I can't scroll. Look at this one. There's
Wow.
Dale and Derek, the wizard, man. I love the acid wash jeans shorts. This is definitely the 90s, man.
Mhm.
For sure. Definitely the 90s.
That is cool.
Bob Gieske.
Bob Gieske and the Yellow Nobler. Wow. Had like a 34 or something in that. Didn't somebody say?
Man, he's got short lines.
Todd Lee.
How many trophies Todd won with that airplane?
A bunch. Robbie Hunt.
Yep. I was really
Europa.
proud of it.
Europa.
I don't know. We'll skip that. Wendy Yu and Dave Midgley.
Yep. That's, I don't know whether that's Wendy's. I think it's Wendy's there.
That's Randy.
That's the one I was looking for. Yeah, that's the one I was wanting to get to. Randy Smith, man. Check him out. I mean, we saw his airplane, but I wanted to show you the picture of him.
Yep.
That's cool.
Benny Rodriguez from Brazil. Charles, we can stop, man. We've been going a while here.
Oh no, we still got a few more minutes. Let me see.
What year? What year was that picture of Benny? Roll it down just a little bit.
1990.
Wow.
Well, Charles, we're about halfway through the stuff that Andy has posted, so why don't we just we'll stop it here and we'll save
All
the
right,
rest.
that's fine. That's fine. Thank you so much for sharing.
Look at that
like seeing the
canopy.
pictures.
Thank you, Mike.
I don't want
Canopy.
to.
Look at that canopy. That's cool.
Oh, that canopy is cool. Thanks for bringing that out. I didn't even realize that.
That's different.
That was cool.
Want to monopolize all the time here, but so we got something to look forward to next time too. But
Thanks, Mike. That was awesome.
Yeah,
this
thanks.
Andy Lee guy, I don't know him. I don't know if anybody here does, if anybody'd ever met him, but he's just doing huge photo dumps on the Pampa Facebook page.
Yeah,
That is awesome.
I don't, did any of you know Pampa even had a Facebook page? And if you're on Facebook, are you signed up for it? Are you there?
Yeah.
Because you should be. If you're a Pampa member and you got a Facebook page, you should be part of that group.
And there's been some beautiful airplanes over the years.
Yeah, absolutely.
Where'd they all go? That's my question. Where are they at now? Like some of these guys,
it's hard to know, eh?
that aren't flying anymore. Because there was a lot of names in there, like people I've never heard of, and like that I don't see their names in other contests around, or you know, where are they at now, and where are their airplanes at? Whatever happened to them?
Yeah. Yeah, that one plane, the America, that the guy that designed the Formula S, that America plane last week was just, I'm still thinking about it.
I mean,
That
I'm
was
sure
Jim,
there's a
Jim Kostecki
Yeah,
airplane.
Jim Kostecki's America. That's a pretty plane.
Mm-hmm.
Have some talented people.
I'm sure there's a certain percentage of them that are still out there, and hard to know where they'd be. They're hanging in basements, hanging in attics, hanging all over the place. I'm sure a lot of them.
Yeah, probably some garage queens right now.
Yeah, I betcha.
You're talking about the guy.
What, Howard?
You're talking about the guys.
We're just wondering where they're
Garage
at.
queens, yeah.
That was Howard's attempt at humor.
Yeah, that's fun.
I got it, Howard.
I got it too.
I think he was talking about the guys hanging around hanging in the garage, I think.
Yeah. Oh my God. Brad's shaking his head there.
That's funny. I gotta blow a whistle on that one.
Even Brad's cat has abandoned us.
Yeah, he bailed. He couldn't handle it any longer. Cat said, "The heck with this. I'm passing out.
man.
I'm done."
I'm gonna throw this at Howard. Foul. Yeah, timeout.
Who's asking Brad if he could fly the stunt pattern earlier? Because I'll tell you, man, the first time I met him was, I don't know, over 10 years ago at Huntersville. I met him and his wife, and he was there to fly combat, but he had brought a Pathfinder with the LA-46 on it. And it was the first time I saw a clunk tank converted to Uniflow, and Brad went up there and won intermediate with it.
Wow.
You remember that? You remember winning intermediate at Huntersville? That was back before I was even flying stunt.
Yeah, I was still a combat guy back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad can definitely fly stunt.
I think he traded it in for a cat.
That's funny.
Actually, I had to quit building in the house because the cat's like chewing on balsa. So,
wow,
a cat has sharpened his claws on balsa.
they Gordon
Yeah.
do all
Tell
sorts
him
of
about
bad
the cat
things to balsa.
Kitty, yeah, I had to close the shop door.
Gordon, tell him about the cat tracks across the wing.
Oh, that's another story. Yeah.
Was your cat clawing up your shop door, Howard? Is that what you said?
No, closed it to keep sharpening his claws.
Oh, ours likes to sharpen on the door molding, not in the house, not in the home, but the outside doors, the molding to come in. So I put up just some 1x4 pine in my shop here, and that's her scratching post now. So she don't scratch the door molding anymore. I put a little box of 1x4 pine up there, and that's what she does.
Hey, Howard, have you done anything with the, I can't think of the name of the plane, the ARF that you got?
No.
Shark.
No.
Okay.
Hey, Stephen McBride, thank you for coming in.
Hello, how are you? Thank you.
Hey, Steven.
Hey, has anybody seen him fly that Veco Saber? At any
Oh, no, that's
contest or
fiction.
anything? I mean, I've seen them, and I had one, but because Dad brought it home from someplace.
What was that plane again, Gary? I didn't quite understand what you said.
It's a Vico.
Vico?
Looks like a Saberjet. You know, it looks like.
Oh, Vico Saberjet.
Yeah.
I have a Vico
got
Saber kit in my garage.
Okay.
Wide tail with an opening in it, like
Is there
a
any
jet.
chance it's a Jetco Saber stunt?
Well, it could be Jetco, maybe.
Yeah, it would have been about a
you're right.
35
Yeah, it's
size
a
jet
Jetco.
from about 1960 or so.
Yeah. I haven't seen anybody talk about flying it, so I just wonder if it did any good.
I heard that the wing wasn't big enough.
I know mine, they had it planked with balsa, you know, and I thought that's awful heavy. But
Yeah. Yeah, that's the usual dock on all of them. Saw a couple of them on Stunthangar. What's his name? Randy Ryan posted one that was absolutely drop dead gorgeous. I think fairly light, but I think they tended to be a little bit heavy, and they were small and thin wings, you know, from the area stuff. They were not really happy airplanes. I think I might be able to find a plan sheet. So hang on a second here.
Sounds like not a barn burner.
Well, there's a reason why you don't see some of the airplanes, and let it go at that.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Tricycle landing gear.
Crickets.
Well, we got 3 more minutes and we're going to end the show. Maybe I'll just end the show prematurely, but we're going to end just the live stream, not the after party. The after party is still alive and well. I want to thank everybody for coming in. Thank you for the super chat from Al Fierro. Appreciate that immensely. Thank you. And the show, its popularity at the height of the show, we had like 32 people watching.
wow.
And we have 24 likes. So if you haven't hit the like button, smash that before I end the show. And if you watch this as a replay, come back and watch us on live Monday. That's we'll be back together Monday. Hopefully you have a chance to go out there and do some flying or go in your shop and come back Monday and tell us all about it.
Yes, sir.
So bye for now. We will see you